Good evening and welcome. It's Everyday KT number 60. So I think at least every 10 of these, every 10th episode is just going to be a live Q&A. So I'll put something out on every 10th, either through Snapchat or not Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, wherever, and it'll be live. So if the live, if you guys would rather have it earlier or at a different time, please let me know. Wow, 7 people. That was quick. So, hey, good to see everybody joining in. Just getting started. And so, like I said, every 10th episode is going to be just live Q&A. No topic, no nothing. Just whatever you guys have to ask about. Yeah, I am completely decked out in the Pats gear. Tomorrow night is going to be rather epic. So let's get going. You guys start throwing questions, and I'll answer them as best I can with whatever resources I've got available. So before I get going into while you guys are coming up with questions, update on the kilt pins. So this afternoon, Quinn and I drilled all the holes. Basically took a small drill bit and that little divot that I showed you right above the Kiltman's head, put a hole in it. And 4 of the Mike, you can, after the video is done recording, you can post it up or send it on live. So put a hole in the thing in the kilt pins, and I have 4 of them. Thanks, Ian. 4 of the kilt pins will actually stand on their own. A couple of people had asked about it. And the Scotchman pins that I had made, they're way too thin and they didn't come out well at all. So I'm going to just redo them. I'm not sure what it is I need to do. I think I need to remold the master, but it didn't work out so well. So I got to redo those. Number 2, can you wear... Okay, so let's get on there. Adjustable waist strap. So traditional kilts, let me back up. I'm not going to use the word traditional anymore because that definition has as many answers in the kilt community as I have a hair on my face. So that ain't going to work. So tartan kilts, they do have leather straps, and those adjust a couple of inches. As far as adjustable waist straps for non-tartan kilts, there are a couple that I have, or there's one that I have that uses fast clips that is adjustable, and that's awesome. The kilt itself is a very thin cotton box pleat, not something I wear very often, but the fast clips work pretty well. The only other adjustable waist straps that I know of are either Velcro or you have the switchback style, like the new utility kilts are coming out with. Those are the only 2 that I know of that are adjustable. I know that Sport Kilt has Velcro, UT Kilts has Velcro. I think there's 1 or 2 others that have Velcro, and then you've got the switchbacks on utility kilts for the modern style kilts. If the Pats win, am I going to send Brady and Bill a BOT Brotherhood kilt? If I sent them a request and they answered, even if they just answered, hell yeah, I'd send them a kilt. Absolutely. Can you wear suspenders with a kilt? Your kilt, your rules. Go for it. I would suggest more of a bracers style than your traditional, there it is again, than your regular suspenders. Bracers might mean they're really nice leather with some really good fitment or something on the end to attach to your kilt. Just be careful. Most of the suspenders that I've had experience with, they either have a buttonhole, and kilts don't have buttons, so you'd have to figure that out, or they have those little alligator clip grabby things. That's the other problem. Those would tear up your kilt pretty bad. So yes, you can wear suspenders with a kilt if you feel like it. Just be careful on how you get it done. Check my messenger. I'm kind of on the thing right now, so oh, hang on, here we go. Let's see. I'm getting the bat phone is ringing. Dude, All right, so let's see if I can bust this. So I showed you guys a picture of my my kids yesterday, and one of my best friends from Oklahoma sent me a picture of his son, Lucian. So booyah! So we got Facebook on Facebook Live. This craziness. Okay, so yeah. All right, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna have to put the bat phone down. So I guess I can talk to all kinds of people. Okay, Kiltology, Volume 3. I don't know. I'm working on it. It's slow. Crown Vanilla. Oh God, Mike. Washing of wool kilts. So, all right, that's a huge one. Washing of wool kilts. Now, if it is your very, very, very best kilt, you know, the one that you had somebody in Scotland or somewhere else sew by hand on a table for like 40 or 50 hours, I would take extreme care washing that kilt. Now, if it's one of your knockabout kilts, what I do is, if you've seen at Walmart, Target, wherever, you can buy tubs, basically laundry tubs. They're about this big around. For those of you who can't see, that's about 2 feet across at the top. What I do is I put the kilt in the water, or in the tub, and this is a tartan kilt that is, you know, a mix of wool, acrylic, polyviscose, something along those lines, that you wear on a regular basis. The kind of kilt that you know the pleats, you're not going to spend hours and hours and hours and hours trying to get the pleats to be immaculate, because it's one of your daily kilts. What I do is I throw it in the laundry bin. It's usually just a plastic bucket. Fill it with cold water just above the kilt. Put some woolite in it, and just agitate it, just like an old school hand washing machine. Go until the water is nice and dirty, because it will be. If you haven't washed the kilt in a long time, take it out, dump the water, fill it back up again, this time with no woolite. And then you just keep going until you pull the kilt out of the water and it drips dry. It drips with clear water, meaning it's clean. Then you make sure you get all the suds and everything off of it and hang it up somewhere to dry. If you want to lay it out, you can. But I suggest, if you're going to lay it out, you put it on something like cookie racks or something with holes in it to let the air out. Otherwise, it's just going to get damp and stay wet for a long time. The way that some kilt makers recommend wearing it involves putting the basting stitches back in and taking hours and hours and hours. I think one time someone recommended actually sewing fishing weights to the pleats so that they fall perfectly once you're done. I just use the bucket method, and when everything's done and dry, I will use, I have a hanging steamer that I use to try to get the pleats back where they're supposed to be. Otherwise, I'll lay it out on the floor with towels underneath it and a towel over it, and then steam iron it. Make sure that if you do that though, especially with a wool kilt, if you put an iron on a real wool kilt, it will develop a little bit of a sheen to it, or a shine maybe. So you'd be really, really careful if you ever use an iron on any kilt you have. If you're able, always put a piece of fabric or something between it. Alrighty. Oh God, Mike. Mike? Oh, wow. Awesome. Angela, I don't know. I only have one. No, I have two kilts that are handmade. And one of them was my Brotherhood of the Kilt tartan that I had when I registered it. It's never been washed. The other one I think's been washed once. Woolite has always been what I've been told to use. The other thing, like you said, don't wash it. I have read several different places that if you need to wash a kilt, that involves a stiff brush, and that's about it. So, like I said, there's a ton of different ways. I would do some research on some on how to wash it. Let's see. There was another question. Want to start a kilted group? Randy, need some more info. Are you talking a live in-person group or something like on Facebook? Mike, yes, you've been drinking. Awesome. What else you need? Niners, yes, they do suck. They have always sucked. Does it get cold in the winter? So that's an easy one. As you know from watching the show, I do not wear non-tartan kilts in the wintertime unless I am either in the house or in the house. The reason for that is the thicker the kilt, the more air it traps underneath it. I also tend to wear something under the kilt in the winter, especially when it's really cold, because cold wind sucks. Cold wind sucks more on bare skin, and cold wind sucks the most when it's under the kilt bare skin. So, yes, it gets cold. I have a couple of very Stillwater heavyweights that I wear a lot in the winter. Also, my real wool kilts, I wear those a lot in the winter as well. A lot of the really thin kilts that I have, and almost all of the majority, all of the modern kilts, the utility styles, those all sit in the closet most of the winter long. Scouts, Boy Scouts wearing kilt. Yes, I believe there are a couple of units in the Midwest that have the McLaren tartan as their Class A's. If you go to the stillwaterkilt.com website and go to their scouting kilt page, you'll see several different units wearing the kilt as their Class A's. So yeah, Randy, I still need some more info. What kind of kilt? What kind of group are you looking to make? So actually, I'll answer both questions. So if you're looking to start a Celtic group on Facebook, that takes about 10 minutes on sifting through the create a group function on Facebook. Now, I will tell you that there are hundreds, if not thousands, of Scottish, Celtic, kilted, whatever, groups on Facebook. So if you really want to make one, go for it, but keep in mind that you will be fighting a lot of noise, and you will have a myriad of kilt knockoff makers trying to join your group and post their crap constantly. I get it almost every day in the Brotherhood of the Kilt group, so be aware of that. Now, if you're trying to create an actual group locally, what I would suggest is just showing up places in a kilt. Get on Facebook and find the groups that pertain to your geographic area and try to set up a kilt night. Say, I'm going to be at whatever place. Say you're going to a restaurant. Say, I'm going to be at whatever restaurant, 6 o'clock, wear your kilt. And just keep doing it. Post it up on Facebook. Post it up in the... I think there's a section in Craigslist that talks about events. I'd have to go check. I tend to stay away from everything on Craigslist. It doesn't involve buying and selling actual things. So I'd check there as well. But try to utilize Facebook. I think there's a few other apps that you might be able to check out. I've not used any of them. But just set an event on Facebook and say, I'm going to be here, wear your kilt. Throw it up there. Post it up in as many kilt groups as will allow. Definitely the Brotherhood of the Kilt group. You can post any events that you're trying to do that are kilt related. So yeah, go for it. Mike, the TU kilt, I do not know if University of Tulsa has a tartan yet. I'm not going to spend the money to make one, but I don't think it's there, and I don't think the Pikes have one yet. Dave hit me up on the bat phone, so I got to figure out what he's got going on. Alrighty, yeah, I got you, Dave. Let's see what other kind of what other questions. I think I've got all the ones. Let me sit here. I'm loving this new tablet that my girlfriend got me because I can look at all the things I need to see and talk to you people at the same time, and it's pretty awesome. So let's see what other kind of questions. So Mike, awesome that you've got a small kilt society. So that's the other thing. If you're trying to put one together, ask how other people are doing it. Just like you asked me what I would do. Mike Lukes, I think is how you, or Laux. I don't know how to pronounce your last name. I apologize. Just find friends that you have in your area, and I'll bet you'll find a couple of them that have kilts. I know I've found a few here. And just strap them on and go places. Speaking of which, I believe in March 1st, or I believe March 1st, there's going to be one up in up near Boston. I've got a friend from Ohio who's going to be in town, and I'm going to see if I can arrange for some shenanigans up near Boston at the end of February. Laux, okay, gotcha, Mike. I actually had a track meet when I was in high school, the Nestle Laux Invitational out in White Plains, New York. It was pretty awesome. Fastest track I've ever run hurdles on. Well before the kilt, though. So, I'm getting about 10 or so minutes in. Does anybody else have any other quick questions before I break into some kiltology? Mike, if Lucian's deadlifting almost 100 pounds at 11, that is crazy. Will I cry on camera if the Pats don't win? No. It's a football game. I mean, I love them, but it's a football game. I might have had a beverage or two, but that might be it. That's about it. No, not going to happen. I mean, actually, funny thing, today I was at... Mike, you should really check what you're writing when you text to a live video feed. I'm not even going there. But so I was at McDonald's with the kids today, and I was leaving. As you can see, I've got my Brady jersey on, and a guy says, "So you're playing tomorrow?" And I look at him and I'm like, "What?" He's like, "At the game. Are you playing the bagpipes?" I was like, "Man, I wish I could play the pipes that well, so I could be invited to the Pats Super Bowl game. That would be amazing." But no, not happening. Quinn needs to play the basketball, Mike? Yeah, he does. How long have I worn a kilt? I have been wearing kilts probably 12 years or so. Probably about 12 years, or give or take. Lately, more often than not, probably the past 5 or 6 years, it's been almost full time. Before that, as much as possible. So, yeah, about 12 years. I think the Irish saffron that I've worn a few times on the air was one of my first 3 kilts. The utility kilt, the olive drab utility kilt that I was wearing a couple of days ago when I was pouring the kilt pins. That was, I think, my second kilt. A roofer, I have done roofing in a kilt. Yes, Dave. It's interesting. Actually, if you go out on the, it's either in the Brotherhood of the Kilt or KT the Kiltman Facebook pages, there is a picture of me up on my roof doing all kinds of shenanigans. Nah, not crazy. Just got to get things done. It's a lot easier when you do it yourself instead of paying somebody to come in and do all the easy stuff. Alrighty, so let's yeah, exactly, yeah. That's why, like I showed you yesterday when I was out in the garage, put in my my vise on the bench, and this afternoon I put my son's vise on the bench as well at the other end. So now both of us can do all kinds of crazy work in there. So Cowboy Sharkies. Actually, if you go look, Mike, if you go look somewhere, I actually found a picture when I gave those Kilt Inspector tank tops to the entire wait staff down at Cowboy Sharkies, and that was awesome. Randy, I actually had Christmas lights on my kilt this past year for a Christmas party. It didn't work out at all, so they didn't last more than a few minutes. But they were a battery operated string of Christmas lights on my McTavish 1850 variant kilt. Worked out pretty well. Yeah, it's good stuff. So hey, somebody throw up a volume of Kiltology, and looks like my kids are watching the new Voltron on Netflix, which is awesome, by the way. Any of you who remember the old Voltron from back in the day, got 2 seasons up, and he's almost done. He's sitting here patiently waiting for me to finish talking to you guys, so he can get on with was it season 2, episode 5. It didn't happen. So, Dave, didn't happen on the roof. Yeah, that's all out on. It's all out there. Angela wins with volume 1. So yeah, no. If you go, Dave, if you go out on the Brotherhood of the Kilt Facebook, or KT the Kiltman Facebook, and just scroll through all the old pictures. I think there's a picture I got a little slap happy with Photoshop, and there are 5 or 6 of me in the same picture, up on the roof, up ladders. It's just bad news. Nothing else is working. Mike, you're hilarious. Those Royal Bacardi Rumpelmeisters must be doing you some serious injustice. So here, if anybody who gets the reference to this one, post the first person to post where this Clyde's in Tulsa. That's awesome, dude. Mike, tell him I said hi. The first person to catch the reference for this Kiltology, I'll send him a free kilt pin. Kiltology number 48. With all the power the kilt has, it has yet given me the clairvoyance, or has yet given me clairvoyance enough to find the hidden kilty base. So that is what happens when you edit your own books before publishing them. My editor for volume 2 ripped me a new one and said that she would edit volume 1 for free as long as I promised to publish it as she wrote it. I said no, because I wrote most of it at a bar, and that's what it sounds like. So that's the whole point. Yeah, exactly, Michelle. That's exactly right. Yes. I'm not, you cannot edit the book. Not happening. I might have to publish an unedited version of volume 2 just to bug you. So again, with all the power the kilt has, it has yet given me the clairvoyance. Yeah, it actually says, given me the clairvoyance enough. So yeah, it sucks. So with all the power the kilt has, it has yet to give me the clairvoyance to find the hidden kilty base. No, they're not X-rated, Dave. Not even close. They're G-rated as possible. So with that, like I said, if anybody can figure out what the reference is on that Kiltology, first person gets a free kilt pin. And with that, I have no idea what I'm going to do tomorrow, because Frank, you win. Bingo. Now, bonus question, who said it? There you go. I have no idea how in the hell I'm going to do this tomorrow, because if I'm not mistaken, we might still be in the game this time tomorrow. So just keep tabs on the feed. I'll do a Instagram video in the morning or in the middle of the afternoon sometime to let everybody know what's going on. If you don't hear from me, just tune in around 9 and I'll be on. So until tomorrow, go Pats and be strong. Put a kilt on. And Mike, I sure as hell hope Emma's taking care of you tonight, because you sound like you've had more than a couple. Good night, all.